We'll be speaking briefly on a teacher from God. A teacher from God. Let's see what the Lord will teach us from there. Let's check the book of John chapter 3, verse 2. The same came to Jesus by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from God. For no man can do these miracles that thou doest except God be with you. Now, this person that came to Jesus here was also a teacher, but there was something about Jesus that was different from every other teacher. Jesus was not just a teacher, he was a teacher of teachers. So, Jesus was so special, was so extraordinary that one of the high teachers came to him and said, We know I'm a teacher, but you, we know that you are. The difference between you and us is very wide. We know. He did not say that I know. No. He said, we know, meaning that the man came with a conclusion from the council of teachers in that land. And he said, this is our conclusion. We, the teachers in this land, we have sat together and we have come to a conclusion. So we know that you are a teacher come from God. He said, for no man doeth this thing that thou doest except God be with you. Now, who is a teacher from God? A teacher from God is that teacher that is different from all teachers. And this difference is not on the negative side, it's on the positive side. A teacher from God is the one that carries the presence of God. What makes you different as a teacher? You see, don't just be a teacher. There are many teachers in the world. There are many teachers in each country. But for you to be a different teacher, a kind of teacher that all other teachers will sit together and conclude that this is a teacher come from God, you must carry the presence of God. He says, for no man doeth these miracles that thou doest, except God be with him. The word God be with him means presence. If God is with you, it means you have his presence around you. No man doeth these miracles that thou doest, except God be with him. That means what differentiated Jesus from every other teacher in that land was because he carried the presence of God. And because he carried the presence of God, he could do miracles. He could do things that others cannot do. He was a teacher, but in his teaching ministry, certain things that has never been done in the history of teaching began to happen as he teach. So those were the things that the other teachers saw, and they now gathered themselves and said, we need to hold a meeting. We need to we need to hold a meeting. This one, though we are teachers, but what happens each time this man teach is strange. In view of this, we have to conclude that this man is a teacher, and the direction from which he came is God. So they said, we know thou art a teacher come from God, meaning they had concluded and they have traced the origin of Jesus to God. You call yourself a child of God, can people trace you to God? In the case of Jesus, the council of teachers, the council of teachers, they sat and they searched the life of Jesus and they traced him to God. So they said, we know that thou art a teacher come from God. They have traced his origin. And at the root of Jesus's origin, they found God there. They found God. So if we trace your own origin, are we going to find God or we will find the devil? But in the case of Jesus, who is supposed to be our role model, who is supposed to be our mentor, they traced his origin, they found God. So they said, we know that thou art a teacher. Not only that, we have also done a good job to trace your origin. And we found God there. So thou art a teacher, cometh from God. For no man doeth this thing that thou doest, except God be with him. A teacher that will make a difference must carry the presence of God. A Christian that will make a difference must carry the presence of God. Irrespective of what your job is, even if you are a secretary, You must be a secretary that carries God's presence. If you are a manager, you must be a manager that carries God's presence. There are a lot of managers. That thing you are doing, many other people are doing it. So the way to differentiate yourself is to secure the presence of God. If you are a doctor, that's a very good profession. But you must understand that you are not the only doctor. There are uncountable doctors around the globe. So what will differentiate you from every other doctors that we have around is the presence of God. May the Lord bless you with his presence in the name of Jesus.